We got confirmed by not only Bill Gates, but which year is it, guys? The year 2025. Let's think about it. What are the chances of this? Right? In my thread, I did talk about that's when I see the maximum time that this can all play out by 2025. And not only that, folks, it seems like Ripple is now coming into play. Today, they just posted this right here. The state of global CBDC adoption, guys. Do you guys now see how this is all perfectly timed together? Perfect timing, to say the least, right? So today we're going to be talking about all this stuff, guys, because it seems like we're getting confirmed like no tomorrow. But before we do, the Rock inflation expert. This is how you know the economy is just a show, right? Inflation hits consumers. Dwayne Johnson on impact to brands, guys. What's happening, right? I don't know. It seems like things are not looking good at all. Now, here we go, guys. I mean, what are the chances of this? Bill Gates warning about the next brutal man-made P. It's almost as if they're the ones who manufacture these events and whatnot. Bill Gates warns Australia to prepare for the next that thing, which could be man-made and far more brutal than the C thing. Wow, of course, this is just mind-boggling, guys. So Bill Gates is now talking about the next thing that they're going to create, right? Don't worry, and it's going to happen by 2025. What are the chances, guys? What are the chances of all this, right? It feels like we're living in some type of scripted show. The only reason why I say to 2025, by the way, is because it's the number 9, right? If you add it all, if you add it together, 9 as in complete. So let's read this. Basically, he stated he warned Australia. Not only Australia, look what happened with the C thing. It went throughout the world, right? And this next thing will go throughout the world as well. Again, they're going to pull out every trick in the hat, guys, or card in the deck at that point in time, because that's the climax, right? The finale, where everything collapses and they bring in this new system, which obviously ties in with Ripple and XRP. It all makes sense, don't you see? Now, Mr. Gates told the Institute think tank in Sydney on Monday that political leaders needed to set aside their differences and work together to prepare for the next V. Wow! So there are, guys. Wait, what? How do they even know there's probably going to be a next C thing incoming? How? That doesn't make sense, right? He called for greater global cooperation using the C that thing as an example of how countries could improve on their response if they work together, right? They need to work together. Why? Because the new system is inbound. Of course, the world needs to be in it, guys, right? If one country isn't, they'll be left out. So now they're forced to get into this new program, basically, or else they're going to get cannibalized, and nobody likes that, right? Compare the economic cost of being prepared for the next one to the cost of this one. Over $10 trillion USD economic loss. Wow, guys, this next one is going to be humongous. It's not funny at all. Let me explain. He just stated that the next one to the cost of this one, over $10 trillion USD, right? In economic loss, which means one thing. It's not going to be 10 trillion, but it's going to be exponentially way higher, guys, than 10 trillion. Why? Because the collapse. He's literally talking about the collapse, right? Now everyone's at home. They need a new system, guys. What happens during the collapse? Everything plummets like no tomorrow. Of course, they're talking about a different thing that took place. They're talking about basically the same thing that took place with the C thing, right? That there was an economic loss. Things were shutting down and whatnot, but it obviously ties in with what the stocks and crypto market as well at that point in time. Every market, actually, the housing market. Guys, we're living in crazy times. What are the chances now? With the P thing, we were foolish not to have the tools, the practice, and global capacity to be on standby like we do with fire or earthquakes. Wow, so they're thinking now the P thing or the C thing will occur more often, right? Like what, fires or earthquakes. Mr. Gates praised Australia policies in helping to keep infections rates low before the V were rolled out. Some of the things that stand out are that Australia and about 7 other countries at population scale that diagnostics early on and had those things, right? The down locks, you guys know, where people had to stay at home and whatnot. Again, it's to basically get people minds molded for the future. It's so simple, guys. How don't people see? That meant you kept the level of that thing low in that first year where or when there were no these things, right? So it's quite simple, guys. How don't people see that what's happening to this world, right? Or what's about to actually happen? I see China's rise as a huge win for the world. The current mentality of the US to China, and which is, whoa, interesting. China talk and this talk, right? We know what's happening over there because that over there, the plans are accelerating like never before, guys. Let's listen to this from Bill Gates 2025. Again, we got confirmed, guys. What are the chances? What are the chances?
Bill Gates and the World Health Organization have announced when we will see the next pandemic, and they have a date for us. So get this on your calendar. Prepare, plan your trips around this next pandemic right now. We'll have more on that in a second and the dates. But you'll remember Bill Gates and the World Health Organization previously held what was known as the 2001 Event 201. And it was about the Event 201 exercise. It was a simulation involving a coordinated global response to a coronavirus that they held in a simulation just months before 19 was declared a global pandemic. So they're pretty good at predicting this stuff. I don't know how they pull this off.
Fauci, remember, Fauci told Trump in 2017, not that there could be, not that there might be, but there would be a pandemic during his presidency.
Yes.
Yeah, and Obama ran exercises for it during his pregnancy.
During his pregnancy.
During his presidency, too.
At the home factory.
So they've just gotten together and they're doing it again now. Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, along with Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security and the World Health Organization. I wish I was making this up, but this is not a conspiracy theory. They did this. And they just conducted their next pandemic tabletop exercise in Belgium. It's called the Catastrophic Contagion. Hey, honey, where are you going this weekend? I'm going to Belgium. I got a conference. Oh, yeah, what's it about? It's called the Catastrophic Contagion event. Oh, what are you guys going to be doing? Oh, we're just planning the next pandemic. Just getting everything ready, ready and locked up, and the new virus and vaccines ready to go, because that's how we do this. We plan it, and then we, of course, have the vaccines ready to go. So this is the video that Bill Gates put together, along with the team, complete with simulated news reports like this. This is really what they're preparing for us. This video is called Get Ready. Watch. Catastrophic contagion of global challenge. Breaking news.
Two Latin American countries alerted the WHO of several outbreaks.
So then it talks more about what's going to take place.
Oh, so that's the name, guys. Just write this down. That'll be the name of it, okay? It's
SEERS.
SEERS. It's going to be called the Severe Epidemic Enterovirus Respiratory Syndrome, and 2025 is when we'll see it, okay? Now, it says at the bottom this is a fictional scenario, but come on.
Predictive programming, folks, 2025. I can't believe it. Guys, they're not predicting it. They're causing it, right? Come on, folks. How don't people see? What are the chances of 2025? I can't believe it. What? This is how we know we're getting very close to that new system, right? The C, contact tracing, the V, passport, smart cities, 15-minute cities, central bank digital currency, voter ID, blockchain plays a huge role into all of this, folks. Right? What connects them is the digitalization response and ultimately digital ID. It's all interconnected through tech. Totalitarianism, as you guys can see right there. The state of global CBDC adoption, guys, right? I mean, now there seems to be almost as many options about ability and best use of central bank digital currencies as there are countries currently exploring them. That's 114 for those keeping count. Wow. Guys, don't you see the whole world is now playing a part of this right here, right? It seems like that's where the world is heading towards. Even in the United States, there are mixed views on CBDCs. While the Undersecretary for Domestic Finance at the Treasury, downplayed the need for one late last year, American Banker kicked off the new year with a headline about increased pace of CBDC projects in 2023. Wow, guys, right? This is happening. You can't make this stuff up. Which countries are seeing the most traction with the CBDCs, and who do you predict will have the next pilots or proofs of concept in production? CBDCs are a global phenomenon, right? Global the world, guys. There are now more than 100 countries representing over 95% of the world's GDP exploring a CBDC, all at different stages of development. Don't you see? Ripple, XRP, among large countries, the United States is the least, right? We talked about it. They could leapfrog though. You guys, every technology has already been made behind the scenes, right? The public cannot yet see. Advance in developing a CBDC in part due to the lack of government regulations. Of course, that's the narrative. While China, even though it already has top-notch digital and mobile payment solutions like Apple Alipay and WeChat Pay, is the furthest ahead. Of course they are, right? Happens there, branch out throughout the world. Yet despite China's progress, the digital yuan has had limited traction. People don't like it, folks. Part of this can be likely attributed to privacy concerns by its citizens. Guys, are people going to wake up or no? It's quite simple. Are people going to wake up or no? We'll check out the rest of this probably in another video, but that's all we needed to see right there, guys, right? Now it ties into this way. Ripple had a record 2022. We had a great year. Signed up more and more customers with more and more volume growing through our payment rails, right? Remember, Ripple has already been in talks with these quote-unquote elites, right? He himself is one as well, guys, because I'm just going to be straight up. They're all puppets, right? To play a part of what? To play a part of what, guys? To play a part of this new world, right? Even inflation is a narrative to push it all together, guys. Again, when the collapse takes place, it's all going to be a climax, right? The maximum point in time where everything breaks, guys. Not financial advice, and not financial advice. But anyways, that's all, guys. Amazing, guys. See ya.